What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you my method of making a song in ProPresenter. It usually helps if you know the song, but obviously, sometimes you'll get songs that come in and you may not have song select or you want to customize it and make it a little bit better. This is going to be in-depth, so this won't exactly be shortest video, but I will cover most of the aspects of how I make my songs and how they usually end up looking the way they do. So the first thing you'll want to do is get the lyrics for the song you're going to be making it for. Pay attention to like what's in here. So we've got a verse one, chorus one, and the chorus is technically the same throughout. It's just the amount of times you do it. But I will show you why I separate these later in ProPresenter. So I'll have chorus one, then verse two. I mean, that's technically just chorus one again, but I just have it as chorus. And then the bridge and chorus two, which is a repeated chorus pretty much. But I have them separated. So if you don't already have a library for your lyrics, I would suggest making one just so that everything's nice and organized. I will be making a new one for the sake of tutorial. And any tutorial videos will also come out of this. I will also go ahead and make a new playlist and call it tutorials. And then we can start with our new presentation. I will be doing this on the song Soul by ToLoveandRescue. We'll make sure these are all where they need to be. Hit new. And then normally it's a good idea to set your theme beforehand. I already have one that I use. I will have another video on that at a later time, covering different aspects of ProPresenter, like your own themes. You can go in here and make sure it's how you want it. This is just a starting step, I guess. If depending on the lyrics for the song, if you need to adjust the text, you will obviously do that. But for now, we'll just leave it as is. We know that we will need about 4 different sections, so I'll just duplicate that 4 or 5 times. We'll do the first one, verse 1, and then we've got chorus 1, verse 2, and then we've got the chorus again, bridge, chorus 2. But as I said before, separate these and you will see later on why I do this. You don't have to. It's more personal preference when it comes down to the groups and labels and whatnot. You don't have to. Once you have these, you'll want to go into edit mode, and when you have them all separated, you can close these tabs so that you can see a little bit neater. I'll usually start with duplicating the first one. Actually, you should probably put your text in there first. Now we'll copy verse 1. Okay, so you'll paste that into your verse, duplicate it a few times, and I will be playing some of it. It's usually how I'll listen to it and decide where the breaks should be and how many slides. Just like rough guess off of listening to it. So we'll go ahead and listen to where the verse 1 starts. So it sounds like we might, let me listen to it again. There's enough time after where he says grace that we could probably make a cut here. And I'll basically cut out everything. That's why I'll paste the whole line multiple times. And then you can come here and we'll pick up where we left off. So here, I know there's a break between the verse, so we'll stop it there. And then this, you could leave it as is. But if we listen to it one more time, there's like a little gap in between space and in between. So we'll go ahead and move this down one. Move that like that. Actually, we might be able to break it one more time. Yeah, so we will break it one more time, but whoever, would be doing the lyrics or whatnot, would have to be somewhat aware that this would be a quick transition. So you would want to be quick when you hit the next one, obviously, because there's not much time there. So that would be it for this. And I believe basically just a repeat. So we will copy and paste these. I just selected them, controlled copy, then you'll click on the last one, control paste, and it will go bottom. And so now that is your verse 1. And we can, don't have to, but depending on the song, you can scale it so that you can try. Doesn't always work out, but you can make them line by line organized. Now we'll start with the chorus. Except right here. Do that. Come here again. Duplicate it a few times. And if you do it more than you need it, you can just go from the bottom and hit delete, and it'll delete moving upwards. So right there, I can already tell that we can have a break after my soul. So we'll do that, cut this out. So we'll also take this out, take the comma off, and like that. Cut this out. That's an extra. We can listen to it one more time and see how it looks. And that's it for verse 1. So now we'll go to verse 2. I will copy what I've got, paste it, duplicate this, and then we'll listen to verse 2. Have another break here. And I don't usually like having just one word at the bottom. So sometimes you can get away with it. What I mean by get away with it is people might not notice. Like, for example, this is just one difference. So instead of 120, we'll do 119 and we can fit it all in the line. But you don't want to have, like, say a 20 size difference, and then it's like, to the eye, it's noticeable that you made it fit. So in that case, it may be better to just break the line somewhere in the middle so that it looks nice. But in this case, we were able to just move it by one, and it worked. And then we'll come up here, pick up where we left off. Since this is somewhat fast-paced, we will keep this all in the same slide and just take out any extra spaces that are here. Make sure it sounds good. Alright, and then we move to the chorus again. The exact same. Just listen to it to make sure. Alright, looks good. And this is basically just by eye, you're doing in the edit mode. You will get down to the fine tuning and everything when we actually go back into the show mode, start adding transitions and whatnot. Paste it and duplicate it. Take a listen. This would be a good part for the transitions of backgrounds too. So probably break it 3 times. Start from here. Listen. So we'll make it a little bit even, so we'll have 3 and 3. Immediately after the bridge for the song, we go into the chorus again, so we will not need that. We can just go ahead and copy the chorus again, and then we'll duplicate it as needed from here. It should just be the same thing twice. Paste it again, take a listen. That would be a quick transition as well. Most of the chorus will be, but we will get to that right after this. And then the song will go into its breakdown and outro. And now that we have all of this done, the reason I broke it up, it'll be a little bit more clear to see now. We can probably just go ahead and, well, let me do it individually. Start with the first one, it should just line them all up. You see these keys at the beginning of everything. This will allow you to press that key, and you can jump straight to that point in the song. So now that we've got this, we will start the transitions. So we know for the beginning, if we take a listen to where it starts again. We can probably start this off. We'll set a general transition. I call it that just because, I mean, it's going to change everything in here when you set it through here. We'll just start with a dissolve. A little bit quicker. Take a listen, see what it sounds like if we need to change it at all. I might just need to transition that a little bit more quickly, because I usually clear it in between, if possible. So since this in-between transition is kind of quick, we will add a transition specific to that slide. I'm gonna try the flip one, go back, listen to it. A little too early. That'll work there. And then I do the F2 in between to clear it. We'll start off at verse 1 still, but the second part. And we'll do the same thing here. Now, for my soul, since it's just 2 words and it's relatively quick, we'll go to transitions, and I have some just in various time lengths for previous lyric songs, lyric presentations, I guess. Um, we'll just go ahead and use the 0.6, see what that looks like. And if you want to make this text come towards you, that you can do. If you go into edit, click on it, go to build, you're gonna add a build out. And we're going to do we'll do a zoom in, but instead of my default time, we'll do, say, 5 seconds for now and see what that looks like. Oh, and one more thing, when you do this, you'll want to sort of on click, have it to after transition. You'll know if there's a little circle here, which is how I knew to do that. Go back a little bit. That was a bit too quick, so we'll go back to edit, click here, try 8 seconds this time. Listen. Alright, and then we'll go to gotta lose control, put a flip on here, play flip on here, as well as we'll go here and add a build out with the motion. This one will do 12 seconds. It might take a while. 12 seconds. I'll take another listen. Oh, see these circles I'm talking about? That's what I mean. This, you'll want to change that to after transition rather than on click. And so that we already can tell is not long enough. We'll go to edit slide and we'll make this right 18 seconds. Back a bit. A little more. One more time. Actually, so in this case, since and you'll get onto these things, like you'll start picking up on these things once you do this more. You'll know that certain times it may be best to just not use a certain transition or effect. This, in my opinion, is one of those times where we can probably get away with not doing a build out effect on that, and we will change this one up a little bit and we'll take a listen to what it looks like without it. So we will go ahead and make this a little bit longer. 22. Alright, seems good to me. We'll keep going with the verses. Okay. I also went ahead and fixed my key mappings and everything for the groups. So we have, of course, the normal one because it's the first one, same thing here, and then chorus 2 picks up here. And what I also went ahead and did while doing that is instead of, since we know these chorus segments are the exact same, instead of having to do this transition and all these build outs for all over again, I basically just controlled all 3 of these. Then you do control copy. I controlled these 3 that didn't have these previously, and you just hit delete. Control click the one that you want to paste after, since I've control selected this, and when I paste, they will paste after this slide. So now I have the 3. They adopted the previous group before it, so you'll just click it and hit chorus again, and since they were all created together, they will all group together as the chorus, so you don't have to individually do this. as long as you group them together like I did in the beginning when I originally pasted blank ones, uh, they will organize themselves like this. Now we've got the chorus done. We already know this is done, but we can go through it just to watch it. Alright. And we know this is just one word. When it happens, we'll do a transition, zoom in. Let's do we'll try one. What does this look like? Oh, I want that a little bit quicker. Maybe a little slower. Try 0.7. Clear it real quick. A little too slow. Alright, and then we'll add our transition, or our build out rather. Do pick one and we'll say 6 seconds. After transition, listen. Alright, we'll add a transition here as well. We can go ahead and do flip. And we'll add a build out this. Do say 4 seconds for this one. Set it to after transition. Alright, that was a bit fast, so we'll come here. Try 7 again. Alright, we could probably get away with changing that a little over 8. And we'll add a transition here. We'll add flip again. Edit it, add our build out, zoom in. Say for this one, probably 16. Actually, we'll try 20 just to see. Set it to after transition. Take a listen. That's still a little fast. Try the max, which is 30, and if at 30 it still doesn't look good, that's how we'll know it's best to just not use that transition here. So it ended up working out pretty well, so we will copy this, and since these are all the same, we'll delete that, select this, and paste it twice. We'll go here, that I grouped to chorus 2. Pretty much it. We know all this lines up, and normally when you're making these, it's all situational. This will work really well if you have like a band and group, part of your ministry or whatever, that sticks to the music sheets, like they follow the lyrics as written. But if you have an artist or musician that likes to go off of creativity a bit or change it up, then this could cause conflict. You may be safe for just doing less transitions and less like motion stuff like this if you aren't sure how the musician or band plays. In the setting that I use these songs, for the most part, it usually winds like it goes pretty well together with times I've done this. If it ever doesn't, and say, because you never know, a musician or artist may skip a bridge or they may do the chorus differently or more times. It's always a good idea to ask them beforehand if this is something you're able to do. you know, if they're gonna plan on cutting out the bridge or whatnot. Say they were, you could just click on bridge and hit disable. Um, Obviously, you would want to disable the whole bridge, so you can select more than one and disable and enable as needed. And if they were disabled, once you ended this course, you would just go straight to the next one and it'll skip. Uh, it's useful if you're able to get that communication going. If not, that is another reason that these hotkeys are nice. Um, if they, at the very end of the song, decide they want to do the bridge again and you catch on to this or they say it, you can just press your key that you have key mapped and jump straight to that point. And this is a rare, well, rare, I've never had this happen, but if it ever did and they decided they wanted to go from bridge back to verse 1, you can just hit your associated key and jump in between these pretty quickly without having to scan and find them. If you're able to memorize what your key maps are, that will save you in moments where artists or musicians change things up. Now we'll move to the backgrounds. This is personal preference. I usually spend a decent amount of time picking the backgrounds. Um, for this sake, I've already picked the pack I want to use, and I do have a pro content subscription, so I've downloaded this pack off of pro content. If you do not have pro content, because I do understand it is pretty pricey, so not everyone is going to have this unless you are a ministry or someone doing this on a professional level. Most likely, I will include about 4, 5, or 6 alternative options or places where you can get media like this. Where you get it from doesn't matter, as long as it's good quality media. That's all that matters. So we know the song has a relatively upbeat intro into it. Um, we don't want to do the most, like, the highest energy background available to you because you want to save that for the chorus ideally. So we'll just go through these briefly. This I can already tell might be a good chorus one. We want to find something that's a little slow but not too slow because it is the intro. So we still want that energy there to match the song. This song is mostly high energy through and through, but it does ramp up and scale. So you want to try and match that if you want it to look really like seamless. So we may start with this. Um, these appear to be the same, just more or less. So what we could do is we could start with the one with more. I usually don't label this or group it or at all. I'll just start it like that, and that's where your lyrics will start. So we'll do that. Since we know it breaks, we'll go ahead and put another one in between. So now for this part of the verse, it'll slow down a little bit. We'll go here. Another thing you could do is if you wanted the energy to go the other way around, then you could do that. Well, actually, we'll try that for this video. We'll try less at the beginning and then more in the break. And since this, we know that there's a, not long, but there's a decent enough gap in between this section, we will add an action to clear the slide for us. So that way when we're still on this slide and it's over, we can just go to the next one and it will also clear the text for us so you don't have to clear it, and you'll display this during the break. Start here. And then here, we'll stop it and find one of these that looks interesting. This would be good for the bridge, so I'll go ahead and put that there. This might be good for the chorus since it's 2 repeats. We could do this one and then this one since they somewhat blend in together. I'll go ahead and add this here. This verse, probably do this one maybe. I'll add an action again. Clear our slides. Back a bit.
Show me the place where everything is great.
Probably do this one instead, since there's only two. We'll add a different one. We'll also add the add action here, and we'll clear slide. I'm basically just watching, listening, doing this at the same time. And you'll be able to feel it out mostly. And that's pretty much the end of the song. So another thing we can do is we can add blank slide here. Mark this as ending. We'll duplicate it, and for this we will add the action to clear slides, and then on this one we will add the action. You could be specific with it, but I usually just do clear all. So if we go back before the breakdown, we can just go to the next one, clears the text, and that one will clear the background. And then if you didn't like this white, another thing you could do is display it real quick. If you go to the inspector and then come to the effects preset, you can click the plus and adjust color. And here you, okay, maybe not so much for this background. For most other backgrounds, that would work. In other cases, if adjust color doesn't work, like this one I added here, RGB adjust will sometimes work better, and you can just remove that color. So say you didn't have two different kinds up here and you just had one and you want to make it different for the break, you can just do different colors instead. In this case, I was with the band for one of their tours, and when they played this song, I would have the lights be like a lime green and then an electric green. So to maybe match those vibes, I would want to copy that. So we can have this one being green, and we can do inspector here, add another RGB adjust, take the red out, and that pretty closely resembles the teal I used there. And then it'll go to green. And then for soul, we could maybe add like a nice deepish pink to it. Maybe take some of the blue out. You can fine tune this how you want. For verse 2, we will go back to the teal. Take the red out of it. And then for soul again, keep it a similar pink for this. And then for the bridge, we could go, we'll say, more like a dark blue. Add a little bit of green in there. But you get what I mean, where you have the freedom to change this to whatever you would like it to be. I don't know what I just did. So yeah, I will have the video of the whole thing, what it looks like, just recording the output. after this and get an idea of what it looks like.